Hmm. Welcome. I actually want to start out with a breathing exercise today that I learned about many years ago, but then it came up with a client who was having anxiety, and I sort of re-remembered this little tool and realized that I do it sort of automatically all the time without even thinking about it now. And I think it's a great way to actually get the body settled. It's very fast and very easy. And it's just simply humming. And so you essentially breathe in through your nose and then you close your mouth and then you hum out of your nose. And I've taught this before on here, so many of you have probably already heard it. But because I was reminded of it recently when working one on one with someone, I did a little bit more research and just looked up more about it. And what it does, it's really cool. It actually releases nitric oxide into the bloodstream, vibrating these cells in the nose actually stimulates them to release nitric oxide, which affects the blood vessels opening and closing. And the way that ultimately can affect you is by enhancing your immune function. And I just find that, and I don't know if any studies have been done specifically on this, but I find that it calms me very, very quickly. So like if I'm in traffic or I'm running late or something, and I'm noticing I'm getting all tense and worried and stressed, I will just start to do this while I'm driving, and at least for me and a lot of the people that I work with one on one, it has a very immediate calming effect. So, and obviously most of you know that nitric oxide is like laughing gas. It's what you would take in the dentist's office. So obviously it's not extreme like that, but it does have a calming effect. Um, so let's just practice together and hum. And it's very simple. If you're in a place where you can't make sound, obviously come back and try this later. If you're in a place where you can't make sound, I would just suggest you breathe um, and just breathe normally, focusing on the inhale and the exhale. And when we're doing this together, this humming, I would invite you to breathe deeply in through your nose and make sure you're breathing into the belly. So the belly should expand. So when I'm breathing in, my belly expands. Breathing out, belly contracts, moves towards the spine. As always, if you need to lay down, do that. Stand up, sitting, however you want to be most comfortable today. And I'm going to be moving around a lot. I'm still having back problems. So, um, yeah, would definitely suggest keeping your eyes closed during the meditation because I may be moving around and that could be distracting. So for now, though, let's just start with this humming if you can. And we're going to do it for a few minutes, which is longer than I usually do it for, but I really want you to get the calming effect into your nervous system. I'm going to mute myself for those few minutes so that you don't have to listen to me humming. And it's not about the sound, it's about the vibration. And it's going to have its effect on you no matter what. But I also like to tune into the feeling of the vibration in my face. I find that to be calming as well. And again, you're going to keep your mouth closed the entire time. So you're breathing in and then you're humming on the exhale as you breathe out through your nose. All right, I'm going to mute myself so that you can just hear yourself humming, and then I'll interrupt when it's been a few minutes. I'm away. If you're getting fatigued from the humming, just take a pause and breathe normally and then go back to the humming. So it can get fatiguing if you're not used to this. Pausing the humming, breathing normally, and just noticing. What do you feel? You might have some tingling sensations. You might feel like your whole body is vibrating. Just noticing whatever is here. Mm, good. So now we're going to do the humming again. Notice if it affected your mental state, your emotional state. Maybe it didn't. Okay. It's also something that the more you practice it, sort of has a cumulative effect. So in a moment, we're going to do the humming again. But this time, as you're humming, I want you to imagine your entire body sinking into the ground, the floor, the chair, the bed, whatever. So as you hum, as you exhale with the hum, imagine that your body is just getting more and more relaxed, more and more surrendered to gravity. Your face, your jaw, your shoulders, everything is melting with the hum. It's almost like you're vibrating yourself into relaxation. So, whenever you're ready, go ahead and begin humming again. I'm going to mute myself again and just imagining the entire body relaxing with the hum. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Beautiful. Breathing normally, noticing what's it like to be you right now. Continuing with the out breath to invite the body to soften, maybe even inwardly hearing the word soften as you breathe out. Mouth relaxes, jaw relaxes, forehead softens. Just beginning to notice your own inner experience, starting with body sensations, just noticing what's it like to be in this body in this moment right now. Perhaps starting with your head, scanning the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, imagining the eyes relaxing back into their sockets, ears, cheeks, noticing sensation or temperature or a lack of sensation, jaw, and neck. And now imagining that as you breathe in, you can breathe into all the little cells of the head, scalp, the jaw, the neck, the 360 view of your head and neck. You're just breathing right into that part of your body. And as you breathe out, you're imagining your head and neck softening a little bit more, surrendering to gravity. Next, guiding your awareness to your shoulders, under your neck and your shoulders. That whole area that so many of us, especially when we're working online, we're scrunching up our shoulders. Just noticing, is there a scrunched feeling? Is there discomfort? What's here? Just noticing first what's here. And then imagining that you can breathe into bringing oxygen, bringing fresh energy into the neck and shoulders. And as you breathe out, inwardly hearing the word soften, imagining the shoulders melting with the out breath. Moving your awareness to the arms and the hands, the entirety of both arms and both hands. Just noticing what's here. Is there a temperature difference of your hands? Where are your hands contacting each other or your body? You feel the clothing on your arms. Just noticing what body sensations can you get curious about or notice in your arms and your hands. And then imagining you can breathe into the arms and the hands, breathing in oxygen, breathing in soothing. And on the out breath, imagining that the arms and hands can soften, surrender to gravity. Moving awareness now to your back. So maybe if you're sitting in a chair, you can feel where your back is touching the chair all the way from the top of the back, the bottom of the back. If you're laying down, feeling where it's contacting the floor or the bed. If you're sitting on a cushion and your back's not touching anything, just noticing how that feels. Feeling the muscles of the back. And then imagining that you can breathe your breath right into the back body. Noticing how the back body, the lungs, the rib cage, it expands and it pushes into whatever you're sitting on or laying down against. So see if you can notice that, how the expansion of the back body pushes against your furniture, your bed, or just the air if you're sitting on a cushion. And then notice the feeling of the back softening with the out breath. There's this inhalation, expansion, pushing against something, maybe. And then there's the deflating, the softening, the sort of receding into oneself. Moving your attention now into the belly and the chest, so the front of the body. Noticing how it feels when you breathe in, the belly expands, chest expands, everything gets bigger and a little bit tighter. And then notice with the exhale how the front body and the belly, the heart space, everything softens, everything relaxes and moves inward towards your center. Noticing any other sensations on the front of the body. Breathing into sensation. Maybe a pleasant sensation, it may be an unpleasant sensation. Whatever it is, just imagining that you can direct your breath into it. Maybe even seeing or imagining the breath moving to an area of the body. Maybe there's some tightness. Directing the breath into that part of the body on the front body. And then imagining that part of the body softening with the out breath. Noticing sensation. Moving your awareness down the body now to the pelvic and genital area, the buttocks, there's that whole area of the pelvic girdle, sex organs, hips, sits bones, low back. This is an area that many of us hold a lot of tension in. So, first, just noticing, is there sensation? Is there a sense of blockage or tightness? A sense of temperature, a sense of clothing? Just noticing what's here first. And then noticing as you breathe in, if you breathe in really deeply, there's even a stretch of those low abdominal muscles, maybe even into the psoas, these muscles that contract when we sit a lot or when the body's in fight or flight. These big muscles sort of that wrap around in front of the belly, they wrap around in front of the legs, and they can get very tight. So, imagining, seeing, feeling as the breath goes into the body, imagining the low belly all the way down to your hip bones expanding with the in breath. So, you're really breathing in deeply. Even feeling it maybe in the low back, how the low back moves a little bit with the in breath. And then as you breathe out, inwardly hearing the word soften, imagining that you can consciously release any holding that you might be doing in the low back. Imagining like the feeling of when you get into a hot tub and the lower part of your body softens, muscles release. And if that's difficult, you can even clench the muscles. So you can clench the muscles of the low abdomen, kind of do a Kegel exercise, squeeze the muscles of the pelvic area, squeeze everything real tight, and then release it. So you have a sense of muscles on, muscles off. Do that a couple times where you're squeezing the sits bones, the pelvic muscles, squeezing the muscles of the sex organs, and then releasing and softening. And then again, just breathing into this area, imagining that you can direct your breath into all the little nooks and crannies of the pelvic area. Really breathing fully into this area, bringing oxygen, bringing healing. And then as you breathe out, hearing the word soften, imagining the word soften and imagining the pelvic area melting, releasing, surrendering to gravity. Moving your awareness down the body once again, the upper legs. So anything between the hips and the knees, noticing your thighs, noticing clothing, temperature, sensation, both on the skin and maybe inside too. Once again, breathing into this part of your body, especially if there's tightness, imagining that you can breathe right into this area of your body, bringing oxygen, bringing soothing. And on the out breath, imagining the upper legs just melting, surrendering to gravity. And there may not be a lot of sensation in some of these parts of the body. That's totally fine. You're just noticing what's here. Moving your awareness to the knees. You know, many of us have knee issues, so noticing the knees, thanking the knees for all the hard work they do. Breathing into the knees, imagining breathing in healing oxygen, breathing out and imagining all the little muscles in the knee, all the muscles that attach to places near the knee. Everything's melting with the out breath, everything's softening. And then the lower legs, bringing your awareness to everything below the knee, the lower legs, the feet, the calves, the front of the legs, the shins, the ankles, toes, noticing sensation in the lower legs and the feet. And then imagining that you can breathe energy, you can breathe oxygen and energy into the lower legs and feet. Maybe you picture it as like a sparkliness, or maybe it has a color that you're breathing into this part of your body. And as you breathe out, imagining the lower legs and feet melting, all the muscles, all the fascia, all the parts softening with the out breath. And then coming back to your next breath and noticing the sensations of breathing, picking a spot. Maybe you notice your breath most easily at your nose or the back of your throat. Maybe it's your chest expanding and deflating. Maybe it's your belly expanding with the in breath, deflating with the out breath. So just picking a spot to be aware of the sensations of breathing, and then letting your attention rest there, using it as a focal point for now. Getting curious. What does the body do when I breathe? What are the sensations that result from air moving in and out of this body. And then noticing that even though your focal point may be the breath, the mind will wander. Maybe it's wandering to sensations in the body. So allow the awareness, if the mind is strongly pulled to another part of the body, let that be your focal point for whatever amount of time your awareness is wanting to pay attention to that. And these can be pleasant sensations, they might be neutral, they might be unpleasant. Either way, I would suggest imagining breathing into that part of the body and then breathing out from that part of the body. And this can be a great way if you have chronic or physical pain, imagining breathing into a part of the body that historically may have tension or discomfort. It can be a way to work with pain. And I like to call it sensation instead because there's so much connotation to pain. There's so much loading. So just begin to look at all of it in the body as sensation. And when the mind is drawn to a sensation, allow yourself to rest there, breathing with the area of sensation. And then when the mind gets bored with that, and then it gets distracted by a thought or something else, planning, judgment, whatever, none of that's bad. It's just other phenomena. But today we're training the awareness on the body. So bring the awareness back with the next breath. So when the mind wanders into thinking, or maybe whatever it's wandering to, maybe it's wandering to emotion. And if it's emotion, see if you can notice, is there a bodily sensation of the emotion? What's that like? Just to feel what's in the body linked to an emotion. What's that like? So, just like with physical discomfort, I find that with emotional discomfort, if I can slow down enough to remember to breathe, and I can imagine that I'm breathing into, say, if it's grief or loss, maybe there's an ache in my heart. And I can remember sometimes to breathe into the ache, breathe into the sensation. It's almost like giving more space to whatever is in there. So it doesn't have to be so trapped or confined. Maybe you even imagine breathing such that the sensation doesn't even need to be contained in your body anymore. You're breathing into it, giving it more space. And then when you breathe out, the body softens. So we just have a little bit of time left, about 8, 9 minutes left. I'm going to be quiet for the remainder of the sit and just practice with this way of being with your body, being with sensation, getting curious about sensation, getting curious about the body. So often, if we have pain or discomfort, that area of the body becomes like a black box. So see if you can get curious in the interest of relief, actually, in the interest of noticing it as sensation. Let's practice together in this way, using the breath as a focal point and allowing the awareness when it feels called to a part of the body to breathe into that part of the body. When the awareness gets tired of that, then coming back to the breath. And when the mind gets distracted and goes off on a tangent, no worries, no problem. Just come back to the sensations of breathing again and again. Mm. Now imagining that you can breathe whatever you're needing most right now into this body. Maybe you're needing to feel loved. Maybe your body is needing to feel loved. Maybe your body is struggling with an illness or pain condition or grief. What are you longing for most in this moment? Maybe it's a sense of belonging, a sense of peace, a sense of ease. Imagining, using your imagination where everything starts. Imagining that whatever this quality or this, mm, yeah, quality, whatever it is, that you can breathe it into your body. Maybe even putting a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart, thanking this body for getting you around. Remembering, perhaps, if you resonate with this belief, that you are more than just a body. You are living energy. You are the breath. You are the soul, whatever word you use, whatever you believe, it's all welcome. So remembering that you are more than the body, and at the same time, really thanking this body for all the hard work it's done for you for however many years you've been living in it. Mm. And then I would invite you, if you'd like to do a little more sound and a little more vibration, I'd invite you into the sacred syllable of Om. And I'd invite you to really feel the frequency, the vibration of Om as it moves through your body, as it awakens and enlivens and vibrates the literal cells of your body. It's not about the sound, it's about the vibration that you're feeling in the body as the Om moves through you. And we're going to break it into Ah, Ooh, Aum. Feeling all three syllables at different places in the body. So in a moment together, we'll breathe in, and then on the exhale, Aum, three times, three breaths. Breathing in. Aum, Aum, Aum. May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. Bow to each one of you. Thank you for looking inward, going inward to bring more and more love and kindness to yourself, more and more compassion to yourself, which inevitably just ripples outwards from each of you. Thank you for doing your own inner work, your own inner practice, so that slowly we can collectively raise the vibration of the entire planet together. Thank you, truly. Mm. Mhm. Thanks for the hearts. Lots of love to each one of you. So much love. Mm. Love and coziness.